Today we're making a soft, moist, rich chocolate cake. The cake is incredibly moist. This frosting is delectable. This is so good. First you need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. That's 250 grams. 2 cups of granulated sugar. That's 400 grams. Next, we're adding the star of the show. This is Dutch processed cocoa. This is 3/4 of a cup. It's 75 grams. You can use natural cocoa powder if you'd like. I'm actually looking for that really dark, rich finish. Natural cocoa powder is a little lighter and it's actually a little more acidic. We have 2 leavening agents. This is 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's 10 grams. And 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. This is 9 grams. This baking soda will react with the buttermilk that we're putting in. It'll give us lots of fluff and bubbles. And then to balance the sweet and enhance the chocolate flavor, we're adding some sea salt in. This is 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt, 6 grams. Give it a really good whisk. You want to make sure that you have all of the ingredients combined. I have sifted the cocoa powder and I sifted the flour, so there should be no lumps in here, but you still want it very evenly combined. So give it a good whisk. Let's prep our pans. You need 2 8-inch pans. We'll grease the bottoms and then the sides, and then we will line with parchment paper. I'm using 2 sheets, and you really just need to take your pan and just trace around the bottom, and then just cut it out with some scissors, and you'll have a lining for the bottoms of each of your pans. I'm using butter, and I'm just going to grease the bottom lightly. This is where the parchment paper will go. This will cause the parchment paper to stick to it. Make sure you get the edges. We do not want our cake to stick. Once you have your circles cut out, just press them in the bottom of the pans. I told you this was easy. Here we go. 1 cup of buttermilk, 240 milliliters. This is at room temperature. 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. This is 120 milliliters. 2 whole eggs, room temperature. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, that's 10 milliliters. Using a paddle attachment, mix this for 2 minutes. At the halfway through, like at the 1 minute mark, give the bowl a good scrape down. This mixed for 2 minutes. I just want you to see the texture. Just looks like amazing, thick, smooth cake batter. It's glossy and shiny. I am making 1 cup of hot coffee and pouring this on the batter. The coffee will bloom the cocoa powder and allow those natural fats to come out. It'll make the whole mixture just soft and moist. If you have some reason that you don't want to use coffee, you can always do hot water, but I would strongly encourage you to try the coffee. It enhances the flavor of the chocolate. One cup of hot coffee on the lowest setting. Just pour this in slowly. If you're using hot water or coffee, either way, you just want to put it on low, slowly pour it in. This is 240 milliliters. This will not make your cake taste like coffee at all. It will enhance the chocolate flavor and just make it remarkably delicious. Your batter will be really, really loose and kind of soupy. Don't panic, that's what it's supposed to look like. Once again, just scrape. I'm going to make sure everything is incorporated here. You can see the difference in consistency. This is very, very runny. Divide your batter evenly between your 2 pans. I'm using a scale if you have one. This should be around 950 grams per pan, but we'll just start pouring. You'll see little bubbles starting to form. That's our leavener starting to work already. You see those little bubbles on the surface? So tap your pan just gently. Just trying to break up some of those bubbles that have risen to the surface. You can actually see them disappear. Now it's time to get these in the oven. 30 to 35 minutes. You'll see them rise up, and you should be able to just put a toothpick in the center and pull it out, and it should be clean. You may have a couple moist crumbs, but 30 to 35 minutes. Make sure you don't open your oven door, just peek through the window. Here's the science behind what's happening and what you're seeing right now. This thin batter allows the bubbles created by the leavening agents to move easily, resulting in a very level, even rise, rather than a domed or dense cake. The cakes have been in the oven 35 minutes. They spring back when touched. They are done and they smell incredible. They look so pretty. These cakes need to rest in their pans for 10 minutes and then we will invert them onto cooling racks. So set your timer for 10 minutes. I just want to brag a little. I love this recipe so much. Look how level. They are perfectly level, no doming, no having to trim them whatsoever. I love this recipe. Okay, time to flip them out. I'm using an offset spatula, something really thin and flat. You just want to run it the whole way around the pan to make sure it's not sticking. And let's flip it over. Peel the parchment paper off. And then we are going to flip this right side up again. Okay. These need to come to complete room temperature. They need to be completely cool before we frost them. While they are cooling, we'll make our frosting. First, we'll start with our ganache base. 10 ounces of bittersweet chocolate, 60% or more of cacao. Chop it very finely so that it melts faster and easier. That's 280 grams. You'll need 1/4 cup of heavy cream, that's 60 milliliters, and 1 tablespoon of light corn syrup. Melt this and stir it until it is completely smooth and shiny. Then put it aside so that it can cool down a little bit before we add it into our mixture. Next, we'll begin our buttercream portion. You'll need 1½ cups, that's 3 sticks or 340 grams of unsalted butter that is at room temperature and soft. Grab a whisk attachment and you want to mix it for 3 to 5 minutes until it's pale and fluffy. Now we'll add our flavor to the butter. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of Dutch processed cocoa, that's 13 grams. I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of black cocoa, that's 13 grams as well. Add 1 teaspoon of espresso powder, that's 2 grams. This deepens the chocolate flavor. It does not make your frosting taste like coffee. And last, add 1/2 teaspoon of fine sea salt, that's 3 grams. It is essential for flavor variance. Mix this for 2 minutes to bloom the cocoa in the fat of the butter. Once you see it is nice and smooth, we'll begin to add our powdered sugar. You need 3½ cups of powdered sugar, sifted, and that's 440 grams. Add 1 cup at a time and keep your mixer on low speed. Once you have all of the powdered sugar incorporated, scrape your bowl down, make sure you have everything all smooth and nice, and then switch to the paddle attachment and pour in the cooled ganache. Mix this on low for 3 minutes. The paddle attachment will remove the air bubbles that the whisk added in, and it'll polish the frosting into a velvety, shiny finish. So we combined a ganache and buttercream, and look at this. It's amazing, and it tastes incredible. Ask me how I know. So let's get started. We're going to decorate our cake. Look how smoothly this spreads. Oh my gosh. It's rich and creamy, just melts in your mouth. I can't wait to try a bite. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Wow. Just beautiful. No words could describe how utterly delicious this is. The cake is incredibly moist. This frosting is delectable. This is so good. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make my favorite chocolate cake with me. Once you master this, you need to hop on over to the white cake and check it out. I promise you're gonna love it. I look forward to baking with you in the next video.